Thanks so much. As you see, Governor Scott stepping up to the mic right now to brief. Let's listen in.
The first thing I want to tell you is the citizens of Florida will not tolerate senseless acts of evil. You just can't imagine how this could ever happen in a state like ours. Think of the innocent lives that are lost. We still, according to the Sheriff's Department, we have five, as you know, we have 5 individuals that have lost their life. We still have people fighting for their life in our hospitals. Whoever is responsible will be held accountable to the full extent of the law. So let me repeat this. The state of Florida, the citizens of Florida, law enforcement in this state will not tolerate evil acts. Whoever is responsible will be held accountable to the full extent of the law. I heard about this when I was in Fort Myers. I immediately came over here, got here about 1:45. I've stayed in contact with the Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Israel has done an outstanding job. But the FBI, everybody involved has done an outstanding job. There's been complete coordination between FDLE, the Sheriff's Department, the airport security, all federal agencies. Everybody has worked together. I reached out across the state, not only to our National Guard to make sure they were ready if there's any need for the National Guard, but also airports and sheriffs across the state where our major airports were, to make sure whatever resources they need, the state was available to provide those resources. My heart goes out to every family impacted. The families that lost their loved ones, and the family and the individuals that have loved ones still in a hospital fighting for their life. You can't imagine how this could happen to any family, anywhere in the world, but clearly we don't ever want this to happen in our great state. I have reached out to President-elect Trump and spoken to him and Vice President-elect Pence multiple times to keep them informed. And they told me whatever resources that we need from the federal government, they would do everything in their power to make that happen. My number one priority right now in Florida is to keep everybody safe. Everybody that lives in our state, everybody that travels to our state, do everything we can to keep them safe. As you know, this is an ongoing investigation. There's a lot of information that law enforcement will put out at the time that they can put that out, and they'll do that as quickly as they can. But I can tell you, everybody is working hard to find out exactly what happened and to hold whoever did this accountable. I don't ever want this to happen again to any family anywhere in the world, but clearly never again in our great state. I'll be glad to answer any questions anybody has.
How did you get here?
How did I get here?
Yeah, what airport did you land at?
I flew into Executive Airport.
And does the need to provide security for you detract from the need to provide security in the greater situation here?
I don't believe so. I came here as quickly as I could, stay informed, make sure that whatever resources the state needed to provide, I made sure that the sheriff knew that, the airport knew that, but on top of that, I did that for airports and sheriff departments across the state. On top of that, talking to our National Guard to make sure they were ready.
What information do you have on the gunman?
Well, this is an ongoing investigation. All that information will be released through the Sheriff's Department at the appropriate time.
Do you know if he flew here from Minneapolis?
Say again, please. We don't have details right now, but that'll be released at the appropriate time. Right now, the biggest thing to do is pray for him. We went through Pulse. The biggest thing is, pray for those, the individuals that ended up in the hospital. Pray that every one of them survives. I've not talked to President Obama.
Has he reached out to you?
No, President Obama has not reached out to me. But I've talked to Vice President Pence and President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Pence quite a few times, just to keep them informed.
Did you reach out to Obama?
I have not.
Do you know if the gunman flew through Minneapolis or Anchorage?
This is an ongoing investigation. The Sheriff's Department will release information as quickly as they can.
Did President-elect Trump contact you, or did you reach out to him?
I reached out to President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Pence.
But you didn't call the president, you called the president-elect, you didn't call
Absolutely.
him. Would it be appropriate to call the president for resources?
I have a personal relationship with Vice President Pence and President-elect Trump, and I reached out.
Any other questions? Should there be a ban on weapons in airports?
Look, this is it's horrible what happened here. It's not time to be political. It's a time to mourn those that lost their life, finish an investigation, and pray for everybody that are still fighting for their life.
We'll take one more. Right here, sir. Right
Do you think
here.
the state needs to do something as far as firearms are concerned? You mentioned Pulse. This is now another incident that we have, a shooting on a large scale. Does something need to happen? You obviously have ambitions to run for Senate. Do you think that something needs to happen both in the state and both nationally?
Let's remember, this is a senseless act of evil. We are going to hold whoever did this accountable. It's not time to do politics. It's a time to remember, we have an active investigation. Finish the investigation. Mourn those that lost their life, and pray for those that are still fighting for their life. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, Governor Rick Scott flew in from Fort Myers, where he was today, arriving around 1:45, and certainly just congratulating the great coordination that's happened among so many agencies to deal with today's tragedy down at Fort Lauderdale, and also to just basically, I think, trying to calm people's nerves that they're on top of it. The investigation continues.
Not a lot of new information out of the
no.
governor indicating that, you know, it's a senseless act of evil and the individual will be held accountable. Of course, we know that individual to be Esteban Santiago.
And we just received word just a few moments ago, and this is through ABC News. ABC News is reporting that Santiago's colleagues, and we don't know what
Where
type
he
of
works.
business he was in exactly, brought concerns about him to the FBI. Not sure of the timetable exactly when they reported that they were concerned that maybe he would do something irrational. We don't know the extent of it. Again, it's ABC News is reporting this. We'll have more, of course, as that develops.